Hello and welcome to episode 47 of our Timberborn Update 6 Waterbeavers playthrough, cycle 52 day 3. You might notice there is a very large lack of Advanced Sawmill in the middle of your screen currently. And I think what happened is the game allowed me to place this last episode when it really should not have been, possible for me to build this here. Try as I might, and I did try before hitting record here as soon as I figured out this wasn't here. Nothing I have done is going to allow me to even rebuild this in this location whatsoever, which is an enormous, huge, unfathomably frustrating thing. As what I have cut from the recording, or rather not recorded, should let you know. So, this is really bad. Because there's a lot of time and resources that went into building this. And this was, I thought, a pretty good location for it. But it doesn't seem to want to cooperate no matter what I'd try to put it back in this spot. So we will have to put it somewhere else. But it's not all bad news, because I was also informed by you guys in the comments that this pathing for the power shafts was really suboptimal, and I ended up completely ignoring this path that I had cut here. So, mercifully, I have been granted an opportunity, whether I like it or not, to have a new lease on life, so to speak, with this thing here. So we will remove all of the extraneous power shafting and everything, and instead we will just fix as much of this as we can and find a new location for all this other stuff. So blueberry bushes can go back in here, grapes can go right here as they were supposed to, and then what I'm going to do is this space right here, since this is connected to the power shaft intersection, this space is going to end up, with a little bit of modification, going to end up being where the Advanced Sawmill goes. Now, this covers a whole lot of the screen, so I'm going to turn this off just so we can see. But all I have to do is take out, I believe, let's go for one row of grapes here, and we'll take out all of this other nonsense. It just, oh man, it really grinds my gears. It absolutely just tilts me. But it's the way she goes. That's just life sometimes. So we'll take these grapes out. I may have to move the wood felling planification lodge, but I need this to be on more stable ground and still kind of in the same area. So that's going to have to be the best we could do. At least we got this fixed, you take the little victories where you can, even if they come at the cost of enormous losses other places. But you know how it goes. So let's take this out, and let's test fit. Is it really not going to let me place this anywhere on this map? So it'll let me do this, but it won't let me. Okay, that goes here. Let's do that. I really hope this doesn't end up doing a stupid thing with me again here. But that does still connect to the correct plug there. So that's fine. And I might have been able to keep this path in the same spot here. And I'm pretty sure I can get away with putting a warehouse or a pile right here. But I'm not going to, because if bad things happen again, then I might actually throw my computer out the window. So we're going to leave this space completely undisturbed and just move on for some other stuff. We need to make sure this is set to the correct recipe, because I've been informed that the plank recipe for this is vastly more efficient, because you get 150 planks out of one giant log versus 85 logs out of one giant log, and then you have to turn these into planks in the other buildings. So if we were to do this and just make planks here, then we could either pause or remove the other plank things. For right now, I think we're going to keep that in place. Well, obviously this isn't even built yet either. We do need the giant half logs. And that's an important thing for us to have there. This giant log storage no longer has to go right here. Although it's basically already built minus the regular logs, and there's nothing else we can really do with this space anyway, so I'm just going to leave it where it is. But I do need to put in some additional storages over here that are relevant to what we are attempting to do, just so we can, you know, keep using space. And this also helps take up some of the space that would be otherwise polluted during a bad tide, so it's not the end of the world. This is quite annoying to have this constantly flashing, and I don't think we... Oh. Well, somebody made a bad choice here to not lower this. I'll tell you who it was. It was me. See, I forgot that we're in a nice temperate season. Because I had so much other... Oh, look at that flashing again. I had so much other fun stuff going on. It's just all smiles all day, every time. What was this? Steel saw blades, planks, logs, sawdust. So this will be for steel saw blades. We'll go ahead and do planks. We'll go ahead and do logs. And then sawdust. This is going to generate a lot of sawdust. And that's something you guys also brought up. The recipe for the half logs is going to do 100 sawdust each. And then the recipe for the planks is 380. So, suffice to say... Well, that's if we're using the steel saw blades. Suffice to say, it's going to require that we have a robust solution for all of our sawdust consumption. And the way this is set up, I think that means we're probably going to have to turn some of these back into fast mode, where we consume sawdust. I don't want to convert all of them, because even though that is going to generate a ton of sawdust, it's easier to go through sawdust quickly than you think it is. This needs to be blown up and turned into a sunflower. That's fine. These guys making the screw press axles need to keep making screw press axles because we're going to go through those things like you would not believe. I'm going to go ahead and prioritize this forester job just so we can always have wood coming in. Once this thing is rebuilt and all this other stuff is taken care of, then I think things will be going a lot better. The really annoying thing to lose is all those metal blocks. And I know there's probably a couple of you who have already left the comments saying, just go into dev mode and build it. Like, no. No, I understand that is the logical way to do things, and that's how you would choose to do it. But forever and ever and ever, I have made a commitment to not doing stuff like that with these videos. Because, well, one, Waterbeavers is suffering, and that's how this works. Two, I exploited something the game did not want me to do, and I pay the price for it because that's how it works. Feel free to play differently if you choose. But I think we can kind of help things along, first of all, by setting this to the correct type of material. I don't need to put the metal blocks here. I want the scrap metal. That's what should be coming through. And on this side, exotic seeds. Paper, is this a... That's a warehouse. Okay, I need a scrap metal pile. And I don't know where my closest one is. It's like all the way over here. Pretty sure. So this will need to have something. And of course we want scrap metal to come through here. I need more beavers on this side of the district crossing. I don't know why I always get this backwards. But we need more on this side and not so many on this side. So let's go down to 6 here. I know this also isn't directly how it works, but we'll go up to 6 here. We'll go down to 6 on this side because there's not that much going into this district because they are growing their own food. It's not a lot of different food, but they are growing it, and they do have their own water pumps and everything set up. High temperature foundry is high temperature foundrying, making some glass for us, or at least that's what it's supposed to be doing. We do have steel saw blades, and the Masters of Metallurgy probably doesn't need to be stored here, but I'm going to keep it there anyway. It's little bits and pieces of things, one step at a time. We'll get our metal blocks back, even if we have to wait a little bit of time. Screw press axles might actually be worse than not having all the metal blocks. But that is, that's the way she goes. Where is I always lose track of my stuff here. Okay, that's the scrap metal there. The single exotic seed is really cramping my style here. Let's see. What's this here? Pencil sets. Okay, that's kind of important. Sky exploration is full. It is. Let's make another one of those storages, say over here. If I can find a decent place for it. Sure, why not? Because I want to have as many of these as I can before I switch everything else over. This lumberjack flag does not need to exist anymore. That's fine. Oh, this needs to be blown up. But this was supposed to be removed, this pine tree here. So we have to do that before we blow this up. The ENS was supposed to be making clockwork robotic controllers. We have 5. And I did make some storage space for processors as well, but the processor recipe requires stuff we don't have yet, like hydrogen and the silicon metal wafers, which have to be produced in, I believe, the high-temperature foundry. Yeah, so the recipe for that is quartz, a whole bunch of methane, and coal, and 4 days, 4 hours worth of time. So we're still a little ways away from having that actually be a viable recipe. We will get there. We just have to make more methane, which is part of what we're trying to do in here. And we do need to build a gas tank to store methane. But a whole lot of buts here. Requires 70 metal blocks, which we are already still having a ton of problems trying to produce and keep in stock. Now, okay, here's a spot I can put in, I believe, a little scrap metal pile just so we have something. Can I do a long tiny pile? No. Okay. So even though this isn't, I mean, it's close enough. It's not super optimal, whatever, but it exists, and sometimes that's enough. We just have to have some way of getting more of our scrap metal out. Because I have 2, it seems, because we're converting all of that into metal as fast as we can. But these things here, if I were to put this back in scrap metal mode, should not have a hard time taking care of all of this. Provided, okay, I do have drill bits, and I do have drill bits. It's just the dirt and the iron ore kind of clogging things up here. So we need to use more dirt. And I'd stopped using dirt here because we didn't have, you know, enough beavers to be parading them through the poison water constantly. So if we turn that back on, they should start taking more of this dirt out and building these things up to aid in that. I have to remember to select the correct thing. I will add these here. That is going to dominate their construction until I tell them to do anything else. So first, I will prioritize that pile getting built so we can have scrap metal exported, and then once we're actually making enough scrap metal, then we'll be in good shape. It looks like we're lagging behind in coal because this was clogged with dirt at the output. But it is slowly going. Waste rock is still not a problem with our single trebuchet. That's not a trebuchet. Single trebuchet just doing what it does best. 10 rocks per hour should be fine. We'll leave that alone. Yeah, so we are waiting on... Oh, we're out of tar, too. Okay, so which one of these was making tar? One of these was, and then I changed it to do something else. Nitroglycerin was probably one of these that was making nitroglycerin. So let's put that back. Logs, pine resin, sawdust, and sunflower oil. This will help us use some of our sawdust up. Sunflower oil has been an issue historically. And we're probably going to need to have more than one screw press handling this. By more than one, I mean more than 3, because that's how many we do have. But they don't all have screw press axles. This one does. This one does not. It seems that's completely out. So again, there's a reason why I have so many of these guys making these, because they are absolutely essential to everything we are doing. And there is a better recipe later on down the line in the factory operating team on the Abyss exploration area, but There's so much that has to get done before we get to that, man. I know I keep saying it, and you're probably sick of hearing it, but it really does just take time. Let's get this blown up. We can start the process of researching and building this, but it is, it's gonna be a little while, because we have to have, guess what? More metal blocks that we're not going to have until we have everything else taken care of. And I do mean everything else. You gotta love it, though. Gotta love it, though. So, that's ready to go. Let's hit B for boom. Remove that. And keep in mind, this is attached to this third district over here. And this pathway is attached to the main district. I want this to be running out of the main district, but this being this close means both of them can build it and contribute with whatever materials they have. I do have 3,800 science, and while I do recognize we don't have everything we need to build this, the glowing fluid is going to be really great for us to get out of this third district over here. So let's research. And remember that this has to be powered, so with that in mind, I'm going to have this here. So that can be attached with a staircase, and the power gets routed into the back. Eventually, these bad water sources can be capped with nuclear power. And that does require nuclear waste, which is obtained from this. So when this first starts operating, whenever that is, we will have to put some sort of other power generating thing next to it, like we discussed a little bit in the last episode. The solar array is a good example, but guess what? It needs metal blocks. See, everything revolves around everything else. It is specifically designed to impart suffering upon people who play this, but it's fun, so we keep doing it. Maybe that's something we should be concerned about, but we always have the large water wheel that will make 300 HP per CMS. And this geography right here is not really set up in a bad way to be able to take advantage of this with the large water wheels, but considering how this is currently, I think it would be simplest for us to just pop out one or two of these here and pop in two of the regular water wheels there. So I will do just that. I will take these out, try to redirect the flow just a tiny bit, and make it so that we can have a good connection, and I will take these three out as well to route that in. So that'll just be a straight shot all the way through here. Get this thing powered at least to some degree once it's actually built, and then that will be that. So there's two recipes for this building. If you're not familiar, you can do ruins exploration or human relics. And all of these things that attach to it have different requirements as well for consuming things in the way of making products or researching other things. The supplementary expedition team is basically just another one of these things with a slightly different recipe. They are half as fast. But that's because this can support 10 beavers working the same job. This one is 5 beavers. It's just a way to get either both of these at the same time or more of the same thing at the same time. Nuclear Waste Mining Expedition Center is, for the purposes of, getting to nuclear power, going to be the very first thing we want to attach to this. And that, of course, does consume the ruins exploration. So that's what we're going to need to do first, is to get some of those. Everything that goes into this is going to have to be stored locally, imported, whatever you want to call it, and we do have plenty of space right here. So, keeping this in mind, we need, come on game, glowing fluid, paper, pencil sets, cereal bars, which we are not currently making, and water to get the ruins exploration things. So we will need to make storage for all of those things here, and then the Nuclear Waste Mining Expedition Center also uses glowing fluid with the addition of tools and the ruins exploration. So, easiest thing for us to do is going to be to just put in a staircase right here. But I'm going to do a ladder so we can also store stuff in this area right here. Let's do long tiny warehouse. I can stack those. That's probably the smart move. 2 of those right like so. And that should connect nicely. remember what we need to run this stuff, and I say that because I have already forgotten. Paper goes in a warehouse, pencils go in a warehouse, cereal goes in a warehouse. I'll just click those the first I see of them. Let's actually do that on the bottom there. Come on, cereal bars. And then... what else? Yeah, water is not something you can stick in a warehouse unless it's barreled, but we're not doing that. Glowing fluid, and then this requires tools, which I think can also go in one of these. There we go. Alright, so that helps solve that problem. Then we need to have a couple of tanks. I'm going to make this slightly less awful by putting a platform there. And then I will put a couple of tanks here of the medium variety. And then this here gets removed. So that can be for glowing fluid, that can be for water. That's going to get us everything we need to start. Right conveniently. Just set that to obtain. All of these things to obtain will have stuff to go out of this in a minute. That'll help this get built. How do we look on this? Okay. Metal blocks actually a whole lot faster. I think what we did is working over here for exporting, hopefully. Yep, scrap metal coming across nicely. Very good. Working on building these things. This one should be just about... oh, I have it deprioritized. That's my fault. So I wonder... there we go. Okay. Metal fasteners. Oh, yeah. You already know. You already know. I don't need to say it. At least water storage is looking good. Strong alcohol is looking good. Half-fermented sake is improving. Incapacitated beaver numbers are, all things considered, looking pretty good. There's just so many things. So many things that need to get taken care of. Is what it is. Well-being really should be something that we look to improve. But it's not going to get much easier than it currently is without a lot more scientific advancement. Observation deck. Observation deck. That is on the top of the forestry. One of those triangle buildings. Has to be adjacent. Yeah, see, these are hard to build. You have to have like exactly the right place for them to go. So I'm not going to mess with that right now. The beaver washing machine is another thing we probably need to get into sooner rather than later, but we haven't had a huge quantity of diseased beavers lately, so that's fine. Oh, there we go. That's a nice shot with the balloon coming through here. The nerdy attic can go on top of some farmhouses. We're not quite there yet. The clinic can treat these major burns and severe injuries, but we have to be able to produce the products that treat those, and right now we aren't making that in any reasonable quantity. I guess this third one here, which is the antibiotics, treats severe disease and mild disease, but we don't have any severe disease, and we only have 2 of mild disease that's already being treated by the brambles, so I don't need to focus on that. Probably the frost balm is going to be the next thing that we would really need to get into. But we only have 6 beavers who are majorly burned, and it's fine. It's fine for right now. So we have our giant half log storage ready to go. Now we just need logs, and we need a couple more metal blocks. We need a lot more tar, but the tar is coming in. Honestly, everything else is looking fine. It's just kind of an annoying setback to have this taken care of. There are a couple other comments we got about the positioning on the Advanced Sawmill, and I replied to a couple of them saying, yeah, we're definitely going to do that. And then, well, sorry, folks, that was before I knew that the thing was going to have to be moved. But this is still a pretty decent location for it. And if we really wanted to, we could put another one in this district and have it next to the high temperature foundry. But for right now, I think we're just going to leave this as it is. Everything seems to be doing pretty well. Just need to keep getting population up. On top of this, I had another builder's tower segment that I had avoided building. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Just get that constructed at some point. Bad tide coming in 3 days, but you know, the water's looking good. Food is what it is. And there's a lot of things that could be improved. We're not in a dangerous situation with it, but it is time to ramp up some more of that and take a closer look. We've got our pumpkin chips, which are, of course, pumpkins and salt. But we're not really growing very many pumpkins because I wanted to use this land for growing sunflower seeds because we still, despite having all of these be sunflowers, still don't have enough. There's very limited opportunities we have to take advantage of all of this space. So it ends up being a whole thing. Let's just blow this up, blow this up, blow this up, blow this up. This being a bad tide means these are going to continue flowing, so we're not really in a rush to get these things built. But I will go ahead and start the process of constructing these. I don't think they can get down here. Not that it really matters. We don't have a lot of logs. We really don't have a lot of logs. But these guys here, if this ever gets finished, can be cut into regular logs. They're using all of these giant logs to construct this thing, and we do have 10 out of the 12, and it's fine that they did that because, honestly, these things are going to have time to grow back anyway, no matter what we do with them. So the order in which we used either giant logs or giant half logs really does not matter. And that cleared out the storage so that when these grow back again, shouldn't be that big of a deal. Now, I don't know how this happened, but this has overflowed. And I know it's not because I blew this up, because this wasn't actually blocking anything. So now I've got... What? Come on, man. How did this overflow? Like, it's not flowing through here. Was it really just that much of a wave that it went through this? Ugh. God, what a drag. Well, I'm gonna have to just drain this. That's the only way we're gonna save it. I truly do not understand why or how this happened. The eagle-eyed among you, I'm sure, will be able to offer some sort of explanation, but yeah, just why? Like I said last episode, don't play this map. Don't play this map with Waterbeavers. It's an absolute huge mistake, but we're already 47 episodes in. We can't change it now. Well, I wouldn't want to, at least. So, I guess this is just going to have to be what it is. I don't dare remove this. I really should have just made this a completely cut off section. To be perfectly honest with you. I was wondering, hey, why is this tree yellow? It shouldn't be yellow, and then, oh, that's poisoned. Great. Well, I have 145 explosives. Okay, that's too many explosives. I don't need that many. This is already set to do pencil sets. This is fine with what it is. Man, how does this stuff keep happening to me? How does it keep happening in this? I don't understand. Oh, this game is not for the faint of heart. I'm going to blow this up, then I'm going to blow this up, then I'm going to blow this up, but I'm going to have to put a thing here. And it is what it is. We just have to do it. This is set when a bad tide starts to go all the way up. Bad tide starts, this is set to go all the way down, and that's totally fine. I will lower this. I think we decided it was 1.7 still too low? It's fine. It's letting a little bit out this way, but it's fine. How close are we to having this? Okay. Still looking good. The tar seems to be the big limiting factor here. And that, yes, it's waiting on logs. So it's long since been time for us to have a lot more wood coming in, but I haven't kept up with that. And that's one of those things that, you know, it's really easy to say, oh, well, you should have just done it, but look, we got we got all this to keep up with. Hydroponic Everblossom farms really should be something we get into soon, huh? But we have to have all this other stuff taken care of. Don't forget, there's plenty of other things that are unfortunately requiring more of our attention. We are making science, so things are doing okay. Just, you always need more of a resource when you least expect it, and it's real easy to get caught up in the whole, oh well, I would have done that differently thing. And yeah, I'm sure, and that's fine. But I I do have a very limited amount of brain power at any given time. So for us to be able to utilize this space effectively, oh, it's the wrong thing. Let's unplant these. I'm going to push the pumpkins over one here, which will get me one more plant in this spot. And then I guess that's about the best I can do for right now, save for just taking away some of these spots from sunflowers, but we don't have a replacement for those yet, so that's a whole thing. 32%. What's this one at? 33%. 68%. Yeah, we're just in a situation. Oh, also, because we don't have this thing operating yet, the sawdust is running out very, very quickly. It happens. Okay, screw press axles. Now that one's out. That one's operating, but it's not going to have, you know, forever to go because it doesn't have any backup screw press axles. This one does, though, so I guess that's fine. We're not in a dangerous situation on food or anything else. It's just, you know, you want the best for this at all times, and it's very, very, very hard. At the very least, these should be operating somewhat shortly, hopefully. Oh, they're going to keep bringing in dirt over here, and I guess that's how it's going to have to be. They're just going to get poisoned. That's showbiz, baby. I shouldn't leave these open all the time. It's fine. Alright, so that has shut. That has shut. This is all the way down. There's no poison splashing. And life goes on. This is going to drain, hopefully, all of this poison out here without getting into this pond. At which point we can, maybe the next drought that comes up, take this dam out and replace it with actual stuff that will block things, instead of just sitting here and going, oh, I don't know what happened. Alright, so it's fine. It's fine. It's always been fine. This district, as a result of this, will not need to have a jail because it exports all of the contaminated beavers over to the main district, but we'll want to keep an eye on things here. Clay-wise, we're fine. Yeah, we're waiting on tar. That's it? Tar's the only one? Okay. Well, that means logs should be a little bit more plentiful for some of these other things, including making tar. But it seems like our holdup here is sawdust, so I will put these back on the long recipe just to free up a little bit of sawdust so we can use that with the production of tar. So many things to consider. So little time. But we are making some nice progress, even if it's terrible. 15 things blocked by bad water. Okay, that's all these guys. Well, it's only a 6-day bad tide, so this water is all going to get pumped out, as one does. I wanted to take a second here and check. The medium mine is set to quartz. This medium mine is set to carbon, coal. I see the C, and I see the C. What am I, a pirate? Chemical symbol C is for carbon, kids. I say to my audience of mostly adult men, but we all took chemistry. The primitive mines, I was reminded, are the best thing to have making saltpeter just because of the way the recipe works out. So that's okay. Everything's working out just fine, albeit a little slowly. Are we going to have one of these the rest of this episode come up? 51, 50, 29. Okay, so it's 25 more days. I should have planted more of these giant sequoias. I should have started building this sooner. Why does this say it's not... Oh, the ladder's not built. Okay, that's why. See, this is... Oh, this is also... Or was consuming logs and metal blocks. I guess that's fine. I mean, it does need to be built at some point. So this probably isn't going to be working today. Oh, this water wheel's done. It's making 117 HP. Not too bad. Did I put the second one in? I don't think I did. But considering we have a pretty low quantity of these logs at this point, I'm going to leave this alone for the time being. That second one will go right here and then all the way across. Sound effects included. See, this is why I was okay having this sawmill be here. Because a lot of these grapes get poisoned anyway. But since this is the way this is, I'll tell you what we'll do. I will use Shift backspace, not Control backspace. Thank you, fingers. What I can do here is I can put in levees here and here. That will push the poison just a little bit further back. And I can just do one of these numbers here. Make things just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit easier. And of course, they're going to walk through this like absolute buffoons that they are, and then go get sick and complain about it, so that's fine. This one's just about finished. Waiting on some metal fasteners here, which we all know just takes time. But they're making some nice progress on these terrain blocks. Remember, the goal with this is to have... Actually, I'm going to keep this paused so we can flush it out later. The goal with this is to have this completely separated here with the actual terrain blocks, so I can then put levees on the outside of this and more or less completely bad tide proof this area here. There's still, you know, poison coming from up here until we divert everything. But we are making progress, and that's what matters at the end of the day. This is all dyed here. That's just brambles. Don't need to worry about that. This is ready to go. And now this can be removed. Already talked a couple times about why I have to do this way, but that's fine. Just let it be what it's got to be. Yep, metal blocks, metal blocks, metal blocks. Sometime soon, though, this should be finished. Just need another 96 tar to come in. Can I do this any faster? I think sawdust is still maybe the limiting factor here. Do I have a sawdust storage nearby? I do. It's just up here. Okay. Pencil sets are important. Probably shouldn't stop making those. I mean, everything is just... It's fine. It's not great. It's fine. So now I don't know what else we could do, honestly. Bachelor's in agronomy. Nobody's working here, but that's fine. It can function without that. We're making bramble flowers, and they're using... Oh, that's super full. Let's switch over to... don't have mushroom juice. Berries, I guess, would be the smart thing, but that takes sawdust. Ah, see, to make the bramble flowers, this wasn't using sawdust. I guess I shouldn't use sawdust. It's a balancing act, and I am not good at balancing. Okay, good. This one's just about finished. And somehow, after all that, we only have 2 contaminated adults. Pay no attention to the 4 unwell beavers over here. We'll just, you know, chalk that up to being what it is. See, taking a look at my notes here, a lot of the stuff that you guys said was predicated on the Advanced Sawmill being where it previously was, and unfortunately that is not the case anymore. So I apologize for that. That does leave us with a little bit of an open-ended agenda for the rest of this episode, depending on how fast things can be replaced. But you know how it goes. Once this is complete, all these dirt blocks here, it's really going to make it a whole lot easier for us to make more methane. And that is one of our biggest problems. This, of course, needs to have logs. Who would have thunk it? You gotta have logs to be able to do anything in this game. And when this area gets a little bit more cleaned up, then I will be able to have additional nenifars over here, which are being harvested for the purpose of making methane, whatever that's called. Okay, so the cabbages here are done. When these pumpkins are taken out, we will need to come in and replant them to get one more plant, which will make the tiniest of differences, but still make a difference. Just need to keep that in mind. Like I said, water is totally fine. It's looking good. The spicy sodas, since we have so many bramble flowers and so much water, should be flowing, well, like water, but they're either drinking them all or it's just not going fast enough. Let's take a look at the well-being. Okay, yeah, most of the beavers actually have had some. So that's good. Wine is another thing that we maybe should get into doing soon. And the wine cellar does take the bachelor's in agronomy. And that would require that we make another screw press for grape juice. But wine is useful. Wine has, you know, some purposes and other things. I think it's also used in trade. Don't quote me on that. Yeah, I can trade it to the island beavers for some coconuts. And is there another recipe that takes it? Or is it just that one? Looks like it's just that one. So that could be useful, because, you know, coconuts are one of those things that we can, you know, get some well-being points from. But for now, I think it's probably still best to try to build some of this stuff in convenient locations. But the main problem with most of these things, these statues, is the sheer quantity of metal that they use. Like 50 for the pointer statue, which is funny, just because of this quip here. 50 metal blocks. I have the gold. I have enough gold to build a couple of those, but you know how it goes. So this somehow still has water. 2 days left. That's not looking too shabby. How are we looking? Alright. 78. 78 tar. Still super low on sawdust. Are these all on slow recipe? They are. Are these all on slow recipe? They are. That is making the poison mushrooms. Ah! As I feared, the poison made its way down. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. Oh no, 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 no. Well, I can't do anything about it now. But some of these chestnut trees are definitely going to die. Ugh. Okay, well, the ones that do die we can cut down for wood because it's still wood. But man, that is yeah, it's annoying. How many more of these are going to go? 0.3. Okay, this still says 8, so I guess that's probably going to be okay. Well, they have another day and a half to pump all of the good water. Oh, good. Just in time. Just in time for all of these to be dead. Okay. Alright. See, Waterbeavers was a little bit jealous of how well things have been going for me, I suppose. So we'll put a lumberjack flag back in here, get a couple of logs, which can go to a variety of things. And that's fine. But man, is that annoying. Ugh. And I can't even rebuild this because ugh. I don't have the what do you call it for it? Well, at this point, this game cannot take anything else from me. Okay, that got finished. That's good. 248 out of 1,000 there. Nothing there. As a reminder, I'm keeping this open so that the bad water can get flushed out, but we're making some good progress. Very, very slowly, but we are making good progress. I'm going to get this thing away. Red cabbage, even if it can't actually be grown, that will get that thing to disappear. Let's see, that's fine. How are we looking on pumpkins? Good. Good, good, good. It is pumpkin time to plant large pumpkins. That goes there, that goes there, that goes there. So that'll get us an additional pumpkin every, what, 8 days or however long it takes for these to grow, 7 days. It's a little thing. It's a little baby step. But it does matter. It will make a difference. I probably should long term, since this is no longer flooded at all, I should take this out and just lower all of this. Which would also help this irrigation lodge be a little bit more useful. And also repel all of this stuff here, but there is water on this side to take into account, and you know what? No. No. There's no better time than the present. Absolutely no better time than the present. Let's unplant all of this, actually. How? 46%. Okay, well, I unplanted all of it. We are going to blow it all up. Except instead of, you know, Planet of the Apes, this is actually a good thing. This can get removed. This can get removed. Not all of it can get removed, because I do need there to still be water here. Enough of it can be removed to hold everything in the correct place, while still allowing us to, you know, make good use of all the other space here. So that can go away. They still have to be able to access all this, so we'll come back to this later. Don't let me forget. I say to the people that can't make a comment until well after I've finished and uploaded the video. But yeah. It's kind of impressive, honestly, that this is still firing clean water in here, despite this being entirely poison. Interesting. Okay, that's going, that's still paused, that's fine, that's how it's supposed to be. We've managed to cut down some trees. I guess that is fine. This forester can replant at his leisure. Did I not mark that one for cutting? I did. They just haven't done anything with this. I guess that's a tomorrow problem. But we'll get there. You know? You learn some stuff, you unlearn some other stuff, and you just move on with your lives best you can. So, we still need 48 metal blocks for this thing, but we'll get there. Down to a cool 66 tar needed for this. And it's fine because we don't have any giant logs to cut anyway. 60%, 39, 61, and 35. So I foresee a time lapse later on in this episode, but I do have a couple more things I would like to get done first. That's going to be close enough. This is already clean water here, so let's lower that. This is already clean water here, so let's lower that. Remember, the next drought we have, I want to take this out. Please don't let me forget. It is possible that I will forget anyway. That I'm just going to pause. Let's unmark those for cutting. This is not irrigated, so it can't be planted yet, but it's going to be okay. We just have to believe. Okay, that's filling up there. This is going to take a little bit longer to get filled up if this is gone, but the fact that this is blasted out here should let that fill up without all of it going off the edge of the map. How are we looking here? 490, okay. Yeah, I think this is going to have to be one of the last things I put back in. That's probably fine. Okay, sawdust, once again, is an issue. This rudimentary sawmill is already paused. This one could be making planks if we needed them to make planks, but we don't. So I will take this down to one worker and I will deprioritize it. Yes, that could very well be a mistake that we will pay for later, but the building still exists and it's still housing beavers. So that's fine. We just don't need to be making any more planks or using any more logs right now. All these things matter. Alright, so we got some water in here. That's good. These can be replanted, and they are. Slowly making progress here. 69% there, 100% there. We're harvesting what we can harvest. This is 85%. Yeah, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to time-lapse just for a little bit to let the game catch up with some stuff, fill out supply chains, so on and so forth. Because there's still some other stuff I really want to do today. We just have to be able to make some more progress, and I'm not going to make you guys sit through it. So I'll see you in just a moment. Alright, so now it's day 7 of Cycle 53, and we are closer, but still 33 tar away from having the Advanced Sawmill completed. The reason I stopped time-lapse now is because we are finally able to get the rest of this blown up on the correct level without flooding anything. This one pumpkin here does need to be harvested, and it is still in range to have itself harvested. Let's just get this swapped over to pumpkin real quick, so that can be a thing, and then we will be able to detonate all of this, and we'll replant and get a whole lot more going, as well as this being hopefully protected against all manner of pollution. Let's detonate this because we have the ability to do that now. And like I said, that's going to be totally fine later on. We cannot blow up this land or else these levees will go away, so I'm not going to do it. Please don't ask, because I will forget. Can they not reach this? Like, I feel like it's treating it like they can't reach it, but I know it's right there. They should be able to. They should be able to, but they don't want to. Okay, well, I can't get everything absolutely perfect, I guess. Okay, this irrigation lodge is going to have to be removed, which I don't think is going to poison anything based on how this is set up, and it looks like that's fine. This plank tank can be removed. We've got this dynamite that can be popped in place, but remember, we can't blow up everything. Only most things. Gonna leave that here, and I guess here as well. This pumpkin, unfortunately, is going to have to just be unceremoniously removed. This large farmhouse can also be unceremoniously removed. And then all of this can also be unceremoniously removed. How many more times can I say the phrase unceremoniously removed? Find out next week on Dragon Ball Z. I guess this can also go. That would be fine. I need to make absolutely sure I'm not gonna, you know, have a huge mess somewhere else if I detonate all of this. It is very hard to have old habits disappear like that, but you know how it goes. It's fine. Let's also take this while we are here as a double, and then this. I guess I'm just going to leave this here because this is already growing stuff and this is fine. But we will probably want to have some other type of actually no, there's a staircase there. I guess that's fine. All right. That goes away. That's fine. Plant that as a sunflower. And then as long as there's no... Why did they... Okay. There's no beavers up here, right? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to pause this. B for boom. I'm going to B for boom the entire perimeter here so that nobody is tempted to do something stupid. And we'll do these two as well. Alright, I hope I didn't mess anything up. Alright, good. The game is still paused because now I need to rebuild everything else, and it just helps me think if this is not done that way. Okay, so the irrigation lodge here, I'm going to hide the UI so I can actually see. All of this is already irrigated. Some of it is protected, others are not. But if I place this, I suppose it's going to have to be right around here. Let's put this way. I think it can make the most sense to put that here. And then I will have to have somewhere for the large farmhouse to go. Which, again, hiding that so I can actually see. It seems like right here would probably make the most sense, maybe right in this area. That should be, let's just check ranges here. Yeah, that'll work great. I will have to connect this probably, yeah, pathwise. I think this is going to make the most sense. So that can go there. I know how hilarious this is to come through like this. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Just do a regular staircase. That'll help this guy get over to the rest of this. Obviously, they can't get to everything, but once this staircase is put in place, that should expand this to more or less everywhere else over here. And this is going to give us, once this is completely cleaned up, a very good place to plant pumpkins. Place to plant pumpkins. No L in pumpkin. There we go. I promise I took actual English courses. Alright, this can also be a regular staircase here. That'll get that connected this way, and I will need a thing to store the water and also other stuff. So plank tank there. And then, do I have metal? I do. Alright, here's what I'm going to do. I know it's annoying to have this paused all the time. I'm trying. This is going to allow me, if I do this way, to put in a storage for the this stuff. Pollution resistance factor right next door to the irrigation lodge. And that is going to be fantastic. Now, I've got space here. I've got space here. This ladder is here so that they can get up to the top of this. I can't really do anything about it. It's fine, I suppose. This is at 80%, 79%. I'm going to, instead of just demolishing all of this, I'm just going to unplant it so that we can utilize it effectively later. But right here, I have enough space for 2 pumpkins. I have space for another pumpkin starting on this block. That's the closest I can get it. So let's do a little bit more thinking here. I know I'm going to have stuff here and here. If I go here and here, then that means these 3 are unusable, but that's fine. I can go ahead and plant this, and I can go ahead and plant this. I cannot plant anything else, but that's going to get me about where I need to go. This space can remain open in case I need to have a path going somewhere else, but this will be 3 deep. This will easily be 2 deep. This will be another 2 deep all the way down here, and I think that is going to help us out tremendously. So, they can keep building that. We've got 24 tar remaining. And it is being constructed. We just have to have more sawdust, which, you know how it goes. We do have 10 screw press axles now, which is very good because we were really running out. And yes, the food is getting kind of precariously low. I know a whole lot of you have noticed this and like wondering, hey, what's going on? Well, part of the problem is we don't have a whole lot of mushrooms. And the reason we don't have a whole lot of mushrooms is because we have a whole lot of beavers and we aren't producing them quickly enough because we don't have enough logs. And we didn't have enough logs because we've done this whole song and dance like a billion times. So these have kind of stopped because we don't have enough logs. It will not be a problem forever. It might get a little scary here in a little bit. But, you know, I think long-term things are going to be just fine. Just have to get everything else set back up and move on appropriately. So that's not connected because this isn't connected. Let's prioritize that. This farmhouse only needs some more tools, and guess what? Logs! That's fine. We still have 60 vacancies in 43 incapacitated beavers. Why are there 43 incapacitated beavers? Mild disease. Okay, well, mild disease is handled with the brambles. And we do have some in stock here. I guess it's just not enough beds. Let's check and see. I've got 6 for mild disease. Okay, well that's an area we can improve in. Easy thing for us to do, I think, is just put a couple more of these here. Got 3. And I'll just put 4 there. They'll build it eventually. Yes, it does require logs. We do have some logs. Not the end of the world. It's just a little inconvenient. Yes, I see the food dipping to 1,800 in this one district. It's going to be alright. Don't worry about it. That's ready to go. We're harvesting as it is made available. Once pumpkins, you know, grow in a little bit better, we're going to be in pretty good shape, folks. Just gotta, you know, trust the process, as it were. Okay, so that pumpkin will go there. This pumpkin here, here, here. We can't grow one here, and we can't grow one here. But I can grow 2 just like that. And I think, folks, that's about as good as we're going to get for the time being. Minus this pumpkin right here. And then, of course, once these get all picked up later. So we are, you know, looking a little rough. But it's going to get better. It's going to get a whole lot better. All I need now is for some more pumpkins to come in. And I do have plenty of sunflower oil and mountain salt available over here. Plus another backup storage. Wanted to click on the building, not the beaver. Nenifars are their own mess of a thing. So this farmhouse, even with this ladder here, really isn't going to reach as far as it did before. Well, I suppose that is, suppose that's my fault. Could this farmhouse collect Nenifars? I feel like there's no reason it shouldn't be. Okay, it can. We're good. We're good. This, unfortunately, is going to remain poisoned until I have time to come in here and put more dirt in place. It is what it is. This is waiting on the giant half logs, of course. And 2 more giant logs. These guys, 80%. I might end up just time-lapsing again, but because I really want to be able to get something actually, you know, properly taken care of here. But having this, I always miss seeing these in the shadows. Having this planted with a whole bunch more pumpkins is definitely a big victory, even if it doesn't seem like it. Because now we're going to be able to actually produce pumpkin chips, and you know, the 1800 food for right now is okay, but it could always be better. Baby steps, folks. Baby steps. Yeah, sawdust is a big problem. So those guys are still making that. But since we have all these extra screw press axles, is there one of these that isn't... Let's see, that's at 6. Okay, you guys are now on a sawdust patrol. Just straight up make sawdust. It's going to be okay. Okay, so the regular injuries are the half-fermented sake, and I do have some of that. And I've got a bunch of these medical beds, and they are stocked up for the most part. It's all about just finding efficiencies. And we're working on... Oh, good, it's a drought. That's going to be really convenient for us to fix this mess over here once and for all. That will, of course, just take time. Good, good. This is making some very nice progress. And since this is a drought, I've got 1900 dirt. Okay, it's time for the Lido to go. And it's time for this platform also to go. Because this terrain block has to be replaced. Now, I'm not going to have 5,000 dirt by the end of the next drought. But don't forget, we also have another temperate cycle after that to take care of this stuff, and this one is mostly complete. So I only need another about 4,300 dirt. And I have 1,900 in storage now. If we take a look here, I've got enough drill bits. Now it's just a matter of getting all this stuff out. I have some dirt storage here. If I just have enough builders to actually do this, then we might be able to make some pretty good progress. And we need more beavers in this district anyway. So, we need to have something that will have builders working in it. And these employ hauler beavers. And there's no builders' huts in this mod, don't forget. So we will have to build builder employment. So we have these pit and ladder lodges. This one, 3 and 3. So I'll just find one. Remember, these are also levees. I'll find one of these with a side door, and I think, depending on how we want to do this, could be a good opportunity for us to start narrowing this down and stacking stuff on top of things. But until that becomes an actual possibility, I guess all I would have to do is just find a location, slap one of these things in there, and just move on with my life. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of great spots in this district to do that, so let's hit pause so I can think a little bit more clearly here. See, I've got these power shafts that are kind of running on top of important things, and this is Okay, what's in here? Sawdust. It's empty. Well, guess what? I don't have to do anything else with that because... maybe I shouldn't have a watertight building here where it's going to have a choke point. Well, I also don't need to have this staircase. I also don't need to have this river bath. So, if what I did instead... Okay, cabbages, don't have enough mushrooms. This can be moved. Or I could just say, you know what? I'm going to put in... I'm going to put in this thing here. Wood burner, we don't need. That was like an emergency thing. Let's just clean this up a tiny bit. So now all I need to do here is... I guess I could blast this out. Yeah, that's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. I'll blast these three out. I know I didn't need to remove all of this to just do that, but I'll blast those out, and then I will build a tower one and then a side entrance. I don't want to put a side entrance down here because then they're going to walk out of it. Or maybe I do. They won't leave if they don't have a reason to. And if they do, that's on them. That's their fault. Let's do that. I'll put in one builder thing here, and then I'll put another builder thing on top of it, just because it's going to take forever to build these without builder stuff, and we can always replace them with something else later. So now we just need the bombs. And here they come. Come on. One there, one there. B for boom. Just waiting on this additional one right here. And I hope they've got it before this drought starts. Would be nice. Alright, come on. Don't make me a liar here. Just bring it forth and detonate. Please and thank you. Of course, as soon as I sit here looking at it, it's not going to happen, so we'll have to come back later. Hey! This is done! Good, good, good. I don't have any giant logs to run in it, but we should, if I do another time lapse. Be in a pretty good spot there. The grapevines have grapes that can be taken from the vines. I know, astute observation there. I just don't have... Why are you not... Do I even have grape storage anywhere? That's the better question I should have been asking this entire time. Oh, I shouldn't be laughing because this is actually really, really sad that I haven't figured this out. I need grape storage. Well, there's your problem. So, sheesh. Right now, the best I got is just connect this and make this into grape storage. How in the world did I possibly forget? Well, those of you who've watched these videos forever know exactly what happened. I happened. Yeah, so for lack of a better thing to do here, side door, get some more builders, and move on with our lives. This will increase... what's our total population going to be with this? That is 6. It's going to add 12 inhabitants. Okay. So that means our adult population has to go up to 87, which we'll go ahead and bring in. It's so much nicer not having to have the kids over here. But if we have enough builder beavers to take care of all this during a drought, then we're going to be in good shape, folks. Just have to get the tools, just have to get the pine resin, just have to get the logs. And, logs we have. 166 to be exact, because of this farming area up here. I guess we could cut these down if we really, really felt like it, but you know how it goes. How are we looking over here? In pumpkin land. Hey, good, I can actually plant more pumpkins. Kind of. That will go there, that will go there. I'm just waiting on the one here as soon as this one sunflower seedling is removed. I am aware food is precarious at 2200. But things will get a whole lot better pretty soon, as long as these pumpkins start coming in a slightly better rate of acquisition here. Let's see, sawdust Yeah, see, some of these are just going to have to get put on the fast thing just so we can get some more mushrooms. Regardless of whether or not we can actually justify it, because I don't have enough logs yet to make this work. Yep, we just need the giant logs. So 60%, 86, 85. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good about this. Just have to wait until we get literally any giant logs. We have steel saw blades. We have a storage for the giant half logs over here, for 5 of them at least. Finally have storage for grapes. And I guess all that's left to do now is have another beaver sitting here to gather, which I probably should build another gatherer flag for, but that'll be fine there. There is a building for gathering that we could also build if we wanted to. The Harvester's Office, which does increase working speed, movement speed, and carrying capacity, but I have to find a good spot for it. Maybe if this minty bamboo shoot thing is gonna... yeah, they can't reach that. I'd have to put this somewhere else. This would be good for grapes, though. Tell you what I'll do is I'll do that there. And just connect the path. Just so it has somewhere to go. But they got this built. That means we'll be able to get this done a whole lot quicker. And now, folks, I guess I just have to leave you with a little construction time-lapse as we have our 6-stage route here. We'll watch them bring a whole bunch of dirt in place. And maybe, if these new builder beavers are as efficient as I think they're going to be, we'll have this all buttoned up before we have any more bad water to worry about. Alright, folks. Cycle 54, day 1, and this terrain block is missing 200 dirt. This one's missing 1,000 dirt, but the primitive dam is in place, looking pretty good. And I think by the end of this temperate cycle, those are both going to be done, which means we can expand this thing, which means we can get more nenifars, which means we can get more everything. But there is a small problem of Downriver District doesn't have any water because none has actually come through here yet. So let's open the floodgate dam and let this slowly start to permeate its way back through. Other problems that will need to be addressed will be addressed when the time comes. But we have pumpkins, and now I can plant this last pumpkin here. We've already started the process of making more of these pumpkin chips. I know they're not the perfect food, but they are a food that exists, and we can do something with it. Did not have the chance during this drought to do anything with this, because I think this is way more important over here. But we're doing our best, and that's what matters. So yes, we do have 459 total beavers, and we have not really increased our food production in a meaningful capacity. But we're getting there. We do have giant sequoias now growing and able to be cut down very soon, and able to be used to go to the elevator to the abyss. Just takes time, folks. In fact, I wonder why we haven't put this giant log into this advanced sawmill yet. Or is that because this district has a... Oh, you don't need a giant log in here. You don't need a giant log. Get that thing out of here. This one should have all the giant logs. So maybe that would explain exactly what happened here. At any rate, things are looking okay here. We do have this Harvester's Office, which means I can remove that Gatherer flag. This will help us get grapes a lot more quickly, and it looks like we have harvested those. Again, food is... yeah, it's not looking great, but we're growing pumpkins. We've got sunflowers. We will very soon, probably next episode, get our clockwork farms going, which will reduce the need for growing all these sunflowers here. And we'll keep the beavers fed. We'll keep them alive. It might be a little dicey for a while, but on the long term, I believe we're going to be okay. Sawdust has been an issue, but as this continues operating, it will, you know, generate more sawdust, and we'll be able to utilize that with a whole bunch of stuff. And I have 26 screw press axles. So, for now, I'm going to pause a couple of these log gnawing stations. And by a couple, I mean half of them, and have the rest of these just make sawdust. Because we do have a decent number of logs for right now, and we need sawdust so we can actually make mushrooms. Because, again, food problems. But it's working pretty nicely. This is approaching a state of completion. Then this one only needs to have another 950 dirt, which we do already have. And then, folks, we can have this entire thing completely combined, and everything will be all perfect. But while we're waiting for that, there's still a couple small things to take care of. Check in on a few things, and then we'll be able to say goodbye for today. We have all the regular giant logs we need. We just need 16 giant half logs, which is 8 normal giant logs. And I don't know what's happened to the half logs that we were in the process of creating, because they're not over here. Oh, never mind. There they are. Okay, well. You know how it goes. I've got no cereal bars because we haven't been making those. We'll do that next episode. We have tools, we have pencil sets, we have paper, we have water, we have glowing fluid. That's everything we need to get the elevator to the abyss actually operating, except for the giant half logs, and except for the power. So since we're at a spot now where we do have some power, I figured it would be a smart choice. I'm just going to do the 4-way intersection here because it otherwise would be foolishness. Because you know I'm going to have to use it at some point, and I don't want to have to sit here and wait for it. So, just for right now, this is an expansion thing right here. These two on the either side, and I need to remember exactly what those are, because they have a... is it the... it's not this. There's one of these that is like an extension of it. Supplementary... No. No. That comes in... I don't remember exactly how. Okay, so that goes there. If these are all exactly the same size, there was some sort of something that would expand onto the back of this, but I do not remember what it was called. But I remember it was like a 2x3 thing. It's not that. Maybe it's changed. Yeah, these are all the same size. So, oh, it was the tourism center. It was the tourism center. Is that in this, or is that in the well-being? I think it's been removed. Let's check Tool Finder real quick. Let's just do tourism. No tourism allowed. Open the country. Stop having it be closed. That is, I don't know. Some of you will probably understand that. Is that built there? Looks like it is. Let's get these put in place. Well, okay. Well, at any rate, I just needed to make sure that I wasn't going to be in a horrible position having to remove all of this power at some point later. I think the easiest thing for us to do is going to be to stick that there, turn this into a corner, just make sure we have the means to go around things we have to go around, and just go on from there. So they'll take care of those things. Food, still looking kind of rough, but I believe we'll be trending upward. Pay no attention to the lack of rice balls, because our rice numbers are still pretty weak. Everything will make sense in time when we have everything else completely taken care of, ready to go. Just gotta get our numbers up with the mushrooms. And I think part of that is just we didn't have logs for a long time, and these take a little more than 3 days to make a batch of 40. And it's just rough. But it's not impossible. And the number is going up. That generally is what you want to see. So, let's come back and check on this here. 477, and it's only day 4. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about this. I don't know how many more times I can say that without it seeming like I'm trying to gaslight myself, but, you know, worse things have happened. Still waiting on more giant logs. How far? 84... 2%, that's when we just cut down 80%, 85, 79, and 68. Okay, so that's not going to happen today anyway. But we have made tremendous progress. And we're going to be very happy to know that while it is not completely going to satisfy the power requirements for this thing. It will operate to a certain degree with what we have here with the water wheels. So before we get too comfortable here, I do want to check and see. See, that's not going to work great. This might be kind of stupid to do this. But I could put a water wheel here, and I could put one here if I blasted this out a tiny bit. Is this dumb? Yes. But we've done many things that some would consider unwise, and others would consider complete idiocy. Doesn't mean we have to stop now. So here is what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave the camera on this. And we're going to do our end of episode fun. I really appreciate you guys sticking with this series. I know it's episode 47, and we're just now getting to some of the meat and potatoes of things, so to speak. But there's so much cool stuff in the last half of this playthrough that I think you guys are really going to like, and I cannot wait to show it to you. And I am just so thankful that you choose to spend this time with me. I know I say it every single time. Beard Boosters make it truly possible to commit this much time and effort into doing the super long, quote-unquote, unedited Let's Plays. And I cannot thank them enough. The stability that they give, the support to the channel, makes it possible to do this fun stuff. And the other things, too, like my second channel where I do stuff with model trains, which is just now getting off to a good start. But none of that would be possible without their support, so truly, truly, thank you guys so much for everything that you've done. And hopefully we'll continue to do as we continue having more fun with the beavers. But that's all we have for this one. I'll see you back in this series on Monday, where we are going to continue getting into more and more fun stuff. Have a great day. Stay safe. Have fun. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.